Hi, my name is Kevin McDonald, and I'm declaring my independence. Independence from what? Why, negative thoughts and energy, of course. Chief among them, hate, division, and fear. You see, I know that we're all one, and together we can solve any problem, save our planet and each other. Please, join me as we come together as one and choose a better way to be. So now, let's begin with my independence report. And welcome, everybody, to my Independence Report. It's Friday. I'm in Seattle. It's going to be 100 degrees here today, which is going to be really, really hot. But we're flying briskly and quickly all the way to Jamaica because we're going to talk to Camesha and Monteith Smart. Monteith, is that right?
Monteith Smart, yes.
Very good. Camesha Monteith Smart. I can get that. I'm good. And she is an author, and she's written a children's book, and she is also a professional. And so we're going to spend some time talking about her. Before we do that, though, I want to give a shout out to Tracy Lamore from Lamore Media. She has booked, I don't know when that woman sleeps, but she works with people all over the world, and she helps them get their word out about what it is that they're doing. In this case, she's working with Camesha to help her get the children's book out, and which I believe has just come out, hasn't it?
Well, the official release date for all the online bookstores is July 16th, but it is available on Book Baby store right now.
Oh, so it's July 60th. So it's hot. We're in pre-sales at this point.
Yeah.
So guess who's watching? I don't know when she has time to do that. But thank you, Tracy, and welcome to the podcast. I really appreciate all the work that you're doing for all the folks. And we've had some incredible guests, and we're going to continue to. So, but in this hour, we're talking with Camesha. Now, Camesha, you've written the book. It's called Finding Fun. It's a children's book, and tell us the story of how the book came to be.
Well, when my daughter was very young, she was about 5 or 6 months old. She was still not sleeping through the night, and I tried everything. I did my research. I spoke to sleep trainers. I asked for advice from other moms, but nothing seemed to work. And I think in all of that frustration and confusion was compounded when I talked to other moms, and they'd be like, my child is sleeping 8 hours, or my child is sleeping through the night. And I'm just like sitting there being right like beside myself, wondering, what am I doing wrong? I was so sad. I was disappointed. I started asking myself, what am I doing wrong? Is something wrong with my baby? Is something wrong with me? And I just remember being so hard on myself. And one night when she was, of course, awake and wouldn't go to sleep, I was so tired. And I was sad, and I started thinking all the things that I was thinking before, like something is wrong. It has to be something wrong. And then I started asking God, what's wrong? Like, what should I do? And I remembered it saying it's not like she's even missing anything. Like, why won't she even go to sleep? She's not missing anything. It's bedtime. And that's when I had my aha moment. Aha. That's when it came to me. I was like, maybe that's exactly what she's thinking. She must be thinking, well, I have so much fun in the day with mommy, because at the time, I would be excited to show her the world, let her explore textures and sights and sounds. So of course, it's normal for her to feel like, okay, mommy's gonna do more fun things, or daddy, because when daddy would come home, daddies love to play. So when he'd come home from work, she'd be playing with him. So she doesn't want to go to bed. And it's the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. And that's exactly how the story came to be. I remember giving her to her dad, and while I was talking to myself and rationalizing it, I remembered that I was speaking in rhymes too. And I was like, I think I've stumbled on something here. And I remember giving her to her dad and running to my room. I don't even remember turning on the light. I think I wrote it in the dark under my phone light. And I just started writing, and all that feeling of anxiety and dare I say depression, just sadness started going away. And at the end of it, I realized how much my mood had changed and how happy I was. And when I finished, I called my family and I read it to them, including the baby, Maya Smart. I read it to her, and she was listening. She was crying before, and I remembered her actually paying attention. And both her and her dad was smiling, and I was like warmed by it. So I remembered saying to myself, I always wanted to write a book, and I feel like this is that chance. And I remembered also wanting to share, especially share my experience with other people who are going through the same thing, because I did hear, I didn't meet them, but I did hear of other persons who were going through the same thing. And I wanted them to know, it's okay. Like, you're not alone. Don't feel depressed. Don't feel scared. Like, it's fine. Like, I wanted to offer them another way of looking at the situation to make bedtime seem less daunting and less like something that you have to get through, and get back to really it being something else that they can enjoy with their child. Um, and I wanted to also create a safe space for them to say, hey, that's me, and be okay with it. I wanted to help them to know that they are doing their best. I didn't feel like I had people telling me enough that you're doing your best, it's fine. Babies are different, they're all different, they're all going to do things differently, they all have
They
their
sure
own
are.
times. Yeah, it's fine. And I just wanted to be that for somebody else. So just do what works for you and your family and your little ones, and just have fun.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you, is this the first book you've written, and have you been thinking about it for a long time, and it was like because that sounds like an inspirational moment that
It was
that
more of
you
an inspirational moment. The truth is, I always wanted to write a book. Didn't know what kind of book, but I always dreamt, maybe one day I'll write a book, and I never really actioned it until that night with the aha moment. That's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this because I've always wanted to, and there's no better time than now. So
and
I
you just sat down and did you write the whole book in one
the
night?
whole thing in one night. Of course, I had to do edits, minor revisions, but
Oh,
I
sure.
wrote the entire thing in one night, and I was so
You,
proud.
you know what they call that? They call that inspiration.
Yeah, my
That
baby's been inspiring me ever since she was in the tummy, so I don't doubt that that's what it's called.
and so now you've been reading her the story. Um, does she sleep better now?
She sleeps better. Well, she goes to sleep easier. So it's not like a fight like before. She'd bawl and cry and holler and make it a whole production. Now she actually asks me for the book, and she will read it with me. She'll look at the pictures and she'll tell me what's going on in the pictures, and she'll even recite it, and it's so cute, and I feel so touched every time. But she goes to sleep far easier now.
Um, I'm getting somebody that Kayla says she can't hear the sound, but we're not on mute. Kayla, check it on your end because I can hear Camesha, and Camesha can.
I
Oh,
can hear you.
okay. She got it. It was on her end, so good. Well, because sometimes it happens with these connections that you just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how old is your baby now?
She is 2 years old, going on
Oh boy,
20.
2 years old um is a really tough time.
It really is. It is. It comes with its own share of challenges than when she was a newborn. Now I don't really necessarily, have to fight when I have this book, to be honest. With other things, like if everybody else is putting her to sleep, they have to fight her. I'm not, I don't have to do that anymore.
Well,
I'll just,
that's really good news. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you do before you had the baby? Were you working?
Well, right before I had my baby, no, I actually wasn't working. And that's a whole complicated story in and of itself because I was working, and then when I got pregnant, things started happening with the company that I was in, and because of poor management, it kind of, I guess, they went under or something, and so I was out of a job by the time I gave birth, and I was out of a job for the first 6 or 7 months of her life. But I didn't let that stop me. I did things in that time because I am a designer and I love designing. I don't care what it is, I will design it. Okay. It could be a space, it could be um, some poster, it could be flyers. I don't care. Social media. So I didn't just sit on my hands. I continued to hone my craft, and so surely enough, I got called for an interview with my company, the company I'm with right now.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So, did you, for a while, you did designing and you were kind of freelancing and doing it on your own?
Yes and no, because remember, I was working with that other company, so I was
Right.
working with them. I've always designed, so I'm always designing, even in my own free time. Um, Also freelancing. So yeah.
So, what do you design?
Well, currently
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you do like logos and
I
do you
do
do?
logos, I do illustrations, I do work for social media. I even helped to design the cover of my book.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. So like I had the pleasure of working with
Oh, hold that
some.
up again so that people can see it.
Let me see.
Finding Fun by Camila
Camesha
Monteith
Monteith
Smart,
Smart.
and it's how many pages is that book?
This is 24 pages, excluding the pattern page and the front page.
Ah, now Kayla, I know she's got a 3-year-old, and
Yeah.
and she does, and she wants this book, and it's going to come out in July, so she can pick it up there, and because it will help her baby sleep a little bit because her baby is a bit of a spitfire too. Uh, 3-year-old 3-year-old girls are, well, boys too for that matter. 3-year-olds just are, they're so full of life, and
Yeah.
they don't want to put it down, they don't want to go to sleep, they want to do their own thing and
Yeah. They have
have
their own agendas.
yes they do, yes they do. So are you planning on getting out and promoting the book, what has Tracy got lined up for you?
Well, so far she's had some articles lined up for me, which I'm so grateful for. Did you even know the story of how I heard of Tracy? Tracy saw my book on Book Baby before me. And she reached out and she said, "Hey, I saw your book and I like it and I'm interested." And I feel like it was the universe conspiring for us to be together.
I tell you, it's like I always say about her. I don't know when she sleeps, but she's always dabbling into something or with somebody, and she's always working. And she does a lot of podcasts. She does a lot of TV.
Yes, and
She's
this podcast is a part of her efforts as well
yes,
for
it is.
me. Yeah.
Well, and it was interesting how that story came to be because um, there's a service that you can use as a podcaster that will put the word out that you're interested in getting guests and authors and that kind of stuff. And so
Mhm.
I started getting these people, and I would get one and from one publisher and another from another publisher. Well, Tracy sent me 8, like
Yeah.
all in a row, like bing, 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 bing. And so I thought to myself, this is a hell of a promoter. I should work with her. And so every Friday now, we have somebody that comes from Lamore Media that comes on the podcast. Sometimes two, we've had actors, we've had directors, we've had singers, we've had authors, we've had children's authors. Maybe you've heard of her. Camesha Smart is her name, and she's got a new book out, and it's called Finding Fun, and that is you, and yes, indeed, and the whole thing was, I believe that it was inspired because it happened just you just sat down and wrote the whole thing.
The whole thing at one go.
Yeah, and Kayla says Tracy must be awesome. she finds such gifted people. Kayla needs to meet her. So,
She is awesome.
yes, she is. So,
Hmm.
so now that the book is out, what do you anticipate doing next?
Well, besides promoting and meeting new people and hoping, hopefully creating that safe space, that community for parents and, to come and say, I've had this experience and, sharing with me. And I will be their encourager. I'll be their own personal promoter. It's like, hey, go pat yourself on the back. You've done a good job. Besides doing that, I do envision creating another book, writing another book. So, I'm kind of excited about that prospect as well.
Oh, what is this book going to be about? Is it a children's book or is
It's
it?
a children's book that I want to work on. I'm not sure how concrete it is at this point. Right now, it's just, a thought that I've been having to continue the series. So that's what I want to work on next.
This could be because.
Also, one more thing too, I think that you might be interested in. So I also own my own company. It's called Pumpkin's Place. And essentially, the idea behind it is to make any space your pumpkin's place, meaning anywhere they go, they should be comfortable to explore and learn like they do, right? So it offers principles that can do that. Because for my kid, I know that she loves doing painting. She loves dotting, the door dot markers. She loves those things, and she loves making crafts with me. And, once more, she inspired me to create a service that does that, especially a service that also provides principles that kind of target kids of color so they can have a bit of representation. Because I didn't see much of it when I was looking for her. So I thought maybe I could, have a similar service, but offer this unique thing for little girls like her.
That is really cool. That is
Yeah.
I kind of missed that because I had boys.
Hmm.
I had two boys, and I at 3 years old I discovered the difference between boys and girls are you sit them down with a comic book,
Hmm.
and the girls will color and the boys will rip the book up.
I actually want to have a boy one day, so thanks.
Well, you will see that there is a huge difference between what a girl will do and what a boy will do because boys are. When we would go visit my parents, I had and he when he was three, my youngest son. My parents had to baby proof it from 6 feet down, all the way
16.
throughout the house because he would get into everything, and he loved to climb, and he loved to jump, and he loved to run, and he loved to not pay attention. So,
Okay.
but children, but I love kids. They
They're
they're so
amazing.
unique.
They
They're,
are. They are so amazing. Before I had mine, I mean, years ago when I was younger, didn't know anything about kids. I was like, I don't want children. But when I got older, I realized just how magical they are. They offer you more, but they offer you a second opportunity of reliving our childhood.
that is so true.
It's
By
just
the way, what do you
great.
mean when you were older? You got to be what 20, 25, something like that.
I wish, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, you're more than welcome. It shall remain a mystery how old you actually are. It's none of our business. But it's great that you're doing what you're doing, and I'm glad that you've found it. It appears that you found a career. How do you feel about that?
I feel everything, and it's kind of hard to kind of piece it apart. I'm excited. I'm really nervous. I'm scared. But I feel very happy about the direction. And as I said, anything that I get to do with the children, the kiddos, and hopefully involve mine, it's a good thing for me. So all the feelings.
Well, and this book, by the way, is right now it's in pre-release, which means that you can buy it, but the official release date is July what again?
16. You
You
can get
store.
it on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and there's one called BAM, but I don't remember what it means.
What's it called?
BAM, I don't remember what it means.
I don't either.
Yeah.
That one I haven't heard of. It's probably a kids
Yes,
outlet,
it is. Yeah, it is.
which is good. So you can go now. They can go to your site and pick it and buy it early, right? Or can they?
They can go to pumpkinsplace.com, but it's not live just yet. I do anticipate that it will be live in the coming week. We hit a minor snag, and we had to push it back until next week. So they will be able to order it on my site on
Very cool.
pumpkinspace.com. Yeah.
And by the way, we're talking to Camesha Monteith Smart, and she lives in Jamaica. What's it like living in Jamaica? I've never been there. Tell me about it.
Jamaica is awesome. It's really what you make it. It's like anywhere else, I would say. You have your good, your bad, but it's what you make it. I make it fun. I try to make every experience fun. So my experience might be different from someone else's. Um, but right now we're having. I heard you said that in Seattle it's 100 degrees, like it's really hot.
Yep.
Surprisingly, we're having rain right now, and it's really cold. Not cold, but cool. It's
Uh
welcomed. Okay, we've been melting. I've been melting.
huh.
I'm so
So
grateful for the rain.
Jamaica is an island, and so there's water all around it. I know that much about islands. Can you snorkel there?
Yes, you can. You can snorkel here. But I
I
don't think
love
you can
snorkel.
snorkel in the free and open sea, like the Caribbean Sea. I don't think you can do that, like in the harbor or anything. But like on the borders, so like in St. Anne and Montego Bay, and all the tourist attractions, you can snorkel. Yeah, you
Now,
can.
the biggest question that I have for Jamaica is, do you have snakes there?
See, I keep on saying, so my husband tells me no, okay? I know that I've never encountered any snakes. I've never in my lifetime heard of any snake attacks anywhere here in Jamaica. But I don't know. My brain keeps telling me in these foresty areas, there is a little snake, that is just there having his home breeding. And I I'm still terrified of walking through them. My husband can go and he'll teach my child to be fearless, but as for me, I will I will make sure I dress appropriately.
I'm with you. I need even if it was 100 degrees, I need hip waders and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
gloves and
Mhm.
and a coat and everything
Either
else.
that or I'm not going. You can go and I'll watch you and wish you well. Please
Yes.
bring the child back in one piece. That's all I ask.
Now Jamaica is a big tourist town, or
Mhm.
do you live around the tourist areas, or do you live up in the hills?
I actually don't live in the hills or in the touristy areas. I live closer to where the expats would be. So, people who migrate and come to Jamaica to either work or just live, I'm closer to those places. The touristy areas tend to be on the outskirts of the island, like I was saying, in St. Anne, on the coasts. So on the north coast and the south coast, you have touristy areas filled with hotels and all the attractions that everyone comes here for. But I live in the city, and
Ah,
yeah.
very good. I was told that you can going to, and Bermuda's the same thing, I think. But go to Jamaica, you stay down by the coast, but
Mhm.
you don't want to really go up into the hills. Is that true?
I don't know. I guess to each his own. If you live here, um, especially now in the summer, I feel like the hills is where we want to be. It's nice and cool up there. All the vegetation. Yeah, the hills is great right now.
Ah, well,
Um,
then another myth dispelled. I like that. Thank you so much for that. By the way, again, we're talking to Camesha Monteith Smart. She's written the book that is coming out July 16th. It's a children's book. It's called Finding Fun. Now, other than finding fun, what is the book about? How a child works to find his fun? What's the book about? I should just ask.
Um, yeah, the book is about a little girl who is convinced that when she goes to sleep, there's fun to be had. So she's gonna find this fun before she goes to sleep because she doesn't want to go to sleep, and so she takes her parents all over for fun to find the fun. But they wind up finding something much more awesome than
Oh, so we got to keep that to ourselves, don't we?
yeah.
So that you can buy the book. That actually, that's a great premise.
Yeah.
It's a great storyline, and you just woke up or not woke up, but you just went into your room after having an inspiration and wrote it all down in one day. And do you find it a little weird that you wrote the book and you started to get it out, then Tracy found you, and now she's marketing it and stuff? Did you find
It's
that?
all very surreal. As I was saying, I feel like I believe I shared it with Tracy that maybe the universe, God, was conspiring for us to meet because I know that I had finished it and put it out through Book Baby, but I did not know that it was available in the store. And because I was thinking it was going to be available when every other retailer was going to be available July 16th.
Sure.
And so when she messaged me and said, "Oh, I saw your book, Finding Fun, and I'm interested and I like it," I was like, "What? My book? Let me go and check." And I went and I looked and I was like, "There it is." Okay, I guess it's available. Because at first I was like, "Is this a trick? Like, am I being pranked? What's going on?" And then I went and I looked, and surely enough, it was right there. And I was excited. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then through some talking to her, I decided I'm gonna trust her. I don't know her from anywhere, but this is too weird to ignore. Like this is just too good. Like,
Now, did you ask her how she was looking through a children's book catalog and where that came from? Because I don't think she's got kids that are small.
well, so she was looking through. She told me the story. She said she was looking through that section for a ISBN. She was checking out an ISBN for a client or something, and she came across the book. And she's about to have, a grandbaby. If
Uh,
I hope I'm not giving that away for her. I hope that's okay, Tracy. I'm so sorry if I am. um,
Too
but
late now.
yeah, with a baby, it piqued her interest,
Oh,
and yeah, and she's all about diversity as well, and wanted to give her grandbaby to be um, some guidance or some literature that exposed him or her to you know the
yeah.
wider
So
range.
I see a whole line of books for you, children's books.
You do.
I do. What do you think about that?
I'm claiming it, sir. Yeah,
Very,
I'm
very
there. I'm here
wise.
for it.
You claim it because you can
Oh,
do a lot with finding fun. You can do finding. You can use finding and then finding a bunch of different things,
yeah,
and you can make it age appropriate for your daughter. And as she grows, it can still be age appropriate and do all the way till 6 or 7 or 8 or 9.
yeah. I do. There's another story that I do want to tell and share that another mom actually said to me, that happened with my baby too. And I'm like, hey, maybe I could explore that one for the next book.
Yeah. What happened to her baby?
Her baby was afraid of the ocean. She took her to the beach and she was a little bit scared of the water. And I remember taking Maya to the beach, and at first she was fine. And then the next day when I took her back, she hated the sound of the water. Like, I guess it was too loud, but she would not go anywhere near it. She hollered. So it's like, okay. Pick her up, not forcing you, come and
Oh,
left the shoreline because she wasn't having it. So just went
no, well,
ahead.
and 3-year-old, it's amazing what they get into their head about what's scary and what's not, and
Right.
all of that. But
So I haven't yet figured out how to, help her through that. I'm pretty sure that once I do, I have my book.
there you go. See, there's a second book, and then you can have another one or two or three, and you can do the illustrations yourself. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome if I could do that. Wow. That's the
Yeah,
only so drawing is the only thing that I don't do. I illustrate with my laptop or tablet. That's how I illustrate. But like real artists that know how to draw. I want to
yeah,
do that.
that is important. That is important.
I want to do that.
That's really cool. And again, the name of the book is Finding Fun, and that's going to be released virtually everywhere in the world in July 16th. And so you can go to Barnes and Noble. Is it going to be in brick and mortar stores as well?
I'm not sure. No, no, no. I don't think it's gonna be in the stores unless I arrange it. I haven't had any plans just yet. There will be some available in our stores here in Jamaica locally, but not internationally yet. I'd have to arrange that somehow.
So
So
are
if
you going to
anyone is listening,
if you want to book a book tour with Camesha, you should call her and or email her. Go to her website, which is Pumpkin's Place.
.com, or you can reach me on Instagram at my pumpkins place or Finding Fun the book. If you want more information and you want to follow the journey of yours truly and the book, you can go visit the Instagram page for it.
You are delightful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It is so cool. So you don't by chance have a picture of your child, do you? Every mom does.
I do, but not on hand. I haven't. I think my phone is right here.
I
But
bet you she got a picture or two in your phone, huh?
a picture or two. I've had to change phones because I refuse to delete anything at all. Maya is, I guess I was looking at a picture of her. This was when it was Christmas, and that's
Oh,
her.
oh, she's adorable.
Yeah, Daddy's gonna feel bad that I didn't show him too.
Oh well, that's all right. You know how we are. But she's adorable. She just doesn't want to go to sleep.
She just does not want to go to sleep. I designed those shirts for us. It was our first Christmas.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So so you're a clothing designer as well.
I am. I have my own brand called Kamaya Tees.
You are very talented.
Thank you. And that too was inspired by my kid.
Boy,
Kamaya, Camesha, and Maya. So, and that night, that logo is the quickest logo I've ever done. And everybody seems to love it. I was surprised because I was like, I'm tired of having all these ideas and sitting on them. So I just did something and put it up out of frustration with myself. And I got decent traction from it. So, yeah.
and ladies and gentlemen, that is a lesson to be learned. That do not procrastinate.
Don't
And
sleep on yourself.
yes,
Mm-mm.
get it out, get it done, and put it out there and see what happens. Who knows? You might have a #1 bestseller for kids coming up.
Yeah.
I think if Tracy has anything to do about it, you will. You really will.
Well, thank
So
you.
so what would you like to tell our audience today about yourself, about your work, about life, about what and I throw the door open to you, whatever you'd like to say.
Well, I guess I'd say or reiterate that you as a parent, like these things, like if you have a kid like me who just refuses to go to sleep, it's don't take it personally. It's really not something to like kill yourself over. It's not something for you to get all anxious and just downright depressed about. take my stupid advice. Like, I've been there. I didn't like it. It was not a good place to be. Know that you are doing your best because your kid is healthy, right? Your baby is healthy. That's all that matters. They're going to sleep 1 o'clock in the morning. If they get their 10 hours, like that's recommended for them, they are fine. You're not doing a bad job if they go to sleep that late. You're really not. And I want you to know that they want the babies to know that they're not missing anything. Any babies out there, you're not missing anything. Listen to Auntie Cammy, you're not missing anything. You learn why when mommy and daddy reads the book to you, and hopefully the lesson that they learn at the end of the book will stick with them through the rest of their lives. But mommies and daddies, I'm here for you. Whatever encouragement you need, I am here because I understand, having been there myself. I will lobby for you.
Absolutely. You can be an advocate for all the poor parents that all they want is a good night's
Yeah.
sleep.
All they want is a good night's sleep. I even acknowledge them in the book. I was like, to all the tired parents everywhere, it is okay. It's okay that you feel tired. But don't let that take away from the fun that you have with your child. Because sometimes it feels like bedtime can be such a chore. Like they just fight you and they don't want to go to sleep. And it's unnecessary. Like you feel like it's unnecessary, but it doesn't have to feel that way. you know every baby is different. Don't compare yourself or your life, your own routine inside your own house is what works for you. Don't compare that to somebody else's, because you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
I've got the title for your next book.
What's that?
All I want is a good night's sleep.
Please. Please put a please at the end.
Exactly. And Kayla says, you're going to be amazing. She loves your energy. And
Thank
so
you
do
so
I.
much, Kayla. Thank you,
You,
guys.
you are really an awesome lady, an awesome author, and you're plugged in because this book came to you via inspiration. It was written all in one day. You were
One night. Night
right,
when I was tired.
but and it's called Finding Fun.
Mhm.
It's going to be released on July 16th, and so go to Amazon and you pick it up there, and
Book
that will
Baby.
help you. And what's the other one?
Book Baby.
Oh, Book Baby. Well, it's already on Book Baby, isn't it?
Yeah, but it will be on Amazon and the rest on the 16th.
Yes. Well, Book Baby, you go there too.
Yeah, you go there too.
That would be pretty awesome. Camila, I'm going to let you go because I got to go do another podcast now. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming here and talking to us. And
Appreciate you too, and I appreciate
so,
all the people listening.
exactly. So I have to ask you: when we started this, you were nervous. Are you still
I
nervous?
was no, I'm not. You
Good.
didn't lie. You're amazing. This was
No,
good.
I'm not. You're amazing. This is just easy.
Okay.
It's a nice, relaxing conversation, and with your smile and your positive disposition, you're going to go a long way in this world, my dear.
Well, thank you so much. Guys, remember, please go and follow Finding Fun the book. I really, really want to connect with all the parents who have gone through this, just so that I can have a community for you. That's one of the things that I would want you guys to take away from it.
Oh, absolutely. That's okay. That could be the next thing is that you could do a Zoom support group call for Finding Fun.
Oh, yeah. Come and find fun with me. I'll show
That
you
could
my,
Yeah,
my
and that could be from
certificate.
all over the world. People that are having troubles doing that, and you can work together and tell stories about that night when they just won't go to
Oh, go
sleep.
to sleep.
Please. So, that's awesome. We've been talking to Camesha Monteith Smart, and she's again got the book Finding Fun, due out July 16th. It's really cool that I get to talk to an author. A lot of times I talk to authors that their book came out last year or the year before. It's
Mhm.
really cool to be able to promote this one when it's coming out here in July, and
Yeah,
it's going to be a great seller. And I appreciate having you on the podcast today, my dear.
I appreciate being here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. So what I'd like you to do now is stay put right where you are. I've got to do this, and then I'll be right back to you.
Okay.
Hold on. Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other because each other's all we got. See you next time on My Independence Report.